Hello and welcome back to the Summoner's Guide to Final Fantasy XIV. We are now going to be playing the last of the Heavensward 24-player raids, Dun Scaith. Dun Scaith is definitely the most challenging of the three. And we're going to see how it goes, especially because, like Weeping City of Mach, I haven't played this one in a while, but I do remember most of the mechanics. I am going to give you a nice piece of advice, though. When you pick up the quest for this trial, or raid, rather, make sure that you go to Isleshire and pick up the and there will be a daily quest you can pick up there called Unidentified Flying Object, which will actually give you an additional reward for completing this. It was a quest that was added later when they added the Proto-Ultima to this raid. Alright, so as you can see, first boss takes place right away. So he'll cast Void Death, and you'll want to just keep running away from it until it resolves. You will die if you are inside of it when it resolves. If you get Void Arrow 2, take it away from the party. Void Blizzard 3 is just a simple dodge mechanic. Void Arrow 3 is a little different. He's going to have to be that tornado in the center of the room. You don't want to be there. In fact, you want to be pretty much right where I was standing. Right up against the wall, because it will have a severe knockback, which if you're standing in the wrong place, will knock you straight off the arena. Not a good thing. Pressing the attack best you can, hold Void Death, so keep running. It will pull you once into the middle, then it'll pull you twice. Just run as far away from it as you can. Alright, when those grayish squares show up, those are going to, well, I'll explain that later. The Shockwave mechanic will show up, get into position, and then position yourself so you'll be knocked into the glaciers that show up there, or the icebergs rather. Every time you see the shockwave, that's what you want to do. Position yourself directly across the arena. So yeah, that particular business there. There. When he casts Void Death 4, those gray squares will start to glow. Don't be standing in it, or you will die. Simple as that. He'll cast Doom on a bunch of people, and pray that if it's you, that your healers cleanse it from you before it ticks off and you die. As ads show up, kill them. Oh, the Void Sprites are going to kill me. I don't have a tank picking them up. Oh, wait, never mind. getting yourself in position here. Sorry, I haven't been doing much commentary on this because I've been trying to keep everybody alive. But really all the mechanics that you've seen so far are just repeats of what we've seen up to this point, and it's just going to keep repeating until the end. Come on, get it off. There we go. Alright, let's see if we can't get, okay, good. We're going to have a healer limit break go off. This is exactly what we needed. Get off of Void Death. So by now you should have seen every mechanic and how to deal with it. Now there is something of a soft enrage on this fight. As you can see, more and more of the arena is being filled with those squares for the Void Death, or Void Death 4 rather. When all the arena is filled up, we will not be able to dodge the Void Death 4 anymore. At which point, this will be a done deal. So we really, desperately need to kill this boss very soon. Alright. Again, you've seen all the mechanics. Hopefully we manage. Okay, Void Blizzard 4, there's going to be a shockwave, get in position over here. He's going to do the knockback. Oh, this is going to be close. There's only one part of the arena left. Alright, we're seeing some limit breaks go off. Oh, alright, well that was close, but we managed to pull it off. I wish I could say that was the hardest boss in the dungeon. This ought to be an interesting run. Alright, so yeah, I didn't do as much commentary there as I would have liked, because I was kind of paying attention to keeping alive, but you should have seen, and I think I hit pretty much every major mechanic that happened in that fight. So the biggest things to worry about: Void Death, run out of the center and get as far away as possible for the second suck-in, because right after the second suck-in is when it's going to resolve and kill anybody in it, so you want to be pretty much right at one of the edges of the arena when the second pull-in takes place. Watch out for Void Arrow 3. You'll want to be basically up against one of the side walls to prevent getting knocked off. When he does Void Blizzard 4, he drops the shockwaves, and as soon as he does that, get immediately across from where the shockwave marker is, and then so that when he does the knockback with the Void Arrow, or the Void Arrow 4, then he'll knock you into the iceberg and will not knock you off the arena. And just stay off of any glowing platforms during Void Death 4. So for this section, this is really the only actual, honest-to-goodness trash pull in this area. You'll want to look away from the eyes so they don't petrify you like just happened to me. You want to kill as many of the void crystals as possible, and really don't get yourself petrified. And then just kill the ads. Honestly, this is the easiest part of it. A lot of party members dying here. I'm wondering how many actual new players we have in this run. Alright. I really like the visuals in this particular raid, especially this little section. Alright, so this, I think, is actually the easiest of the 4 bosses. Which is not to say he's easy. Yeah, Dun Scaith is going to be a nightmare with this, based on how the first boss went, but we'll make do. You're gonna see this battle hard earned, I'm thinking. Now, pretty Ed, this guy is not quite as bad. You just want to keep an eye on certain things. Like if an attack resolves, it gets you into one of those. All right, so watch. He's going to throw a blue orb into a yellow Atomos. That means that next to the other yellow Atomos, he's going to do a point-blank AoE. Like so. Now, be wary. He may eventually throw in what looks like a donut into one of the Atomos. Basically, the way it works is you guys are either going to throw a blue orb or a yellow donut into either a blue or a yellow Atomos. Whatever he throws in is going to be transferred. Okay, yellow is going to blue, so I want to go to the other blue. There you go. See, they will always go to the other... shoot, I missed my death flare. It's always going to go to the other Atomos in the same color. Alright, so... you want to turn everything... okay. There. I'm going to explain that mechanic next. Basically what's going to happen is he's going to give everybody either fire resistance down or water resistance down. And then put a bunch of those tiles on the floor. Whenever somebody steps on a tile, it will flip to the other side. You want all of the tiles to be the color of what you're not weak to. So if you're weak to fire, you want everything to be water. If you're weak to water, you want everything to be fire. Typically, the healers are designated to take care of that mechanic, so that not too many people on just aren't flip, and it doesn't end up being the right one by the time the attack resolves. But yeah, back to the Atomos mechanic. I really feel I need to explain that, because it's the most complicated mechanic in this fight. Again, he'll do either a blue sphere or a yellow donut, and he'll fire it at one Atomos, and it will then teleport to the Atomos of the same color as the one he shot it at. So if he shoots a blue orb, you need to find into an Atomos. You need to find the other Atomos of the same color and stay away from it. If he fires a yellow donut into an Atomos, you need to find the other Atomos of the same color and get it right next to it. And again, you saw me do that in that part of the fight, so hopefully you got the gist just by watching me do it, because it's a little hard to explain. Alright, here we go. He's doing a... was that a blue? Yeah, it's a blue. So I'm going to stay away from yellow. It's kind of tricky to do this fight, explain the mechanics, and actually get all out of my attacks as possible at the same time. Okay, obvious. That mechanic there should be fairly obvious. Those AoEs will grow. You just need to get in a position where they're not gonna get you into trouble. You ought to be seeing either another Animos or maybe Flame Flow coming up. Okay, Debilitator. This means he's going to be preparing Flame Flow. Fire resistance down. So we want everything to be blue. So don't step on any blue panels. Okay. Thank you. Then he casts Flame Flow, and this ought to be good. Yeah, we got very little damage, because pretty much all the platforms, if not all the platforms, were the right color. And again, if you get water resistance down, you'll want to turn everything, fire. Okay, so there's a donut going to blue, so I want to stack on blue. I don't worry about the blue going to yellow, because if I'm in the range of blue, I'm probably going to be out of the range of yellow. What you really want to keep an eye out for in that mechanic are the donuts, because usually you can get out of the. I mean, if all you see are the blue orbs, just get away from all the Atomos, and you won't have a problem. If all you see is, but if you see a yellow, or a yellow donut, then you definitely need to find who it's going to, and go to the other Atomos of the same color. All right, so this next encounter originally was just a generic trash pool. It was later on modified to Proto Ultima as part of a promotion. They had Proto Ultima as basically a promotional event at the fan festival and wanted to introduce it to the game in general, so they threw it into Dun Scaith, which is why they give you the additional quest, the additional I forget if it's a daily or a weekly quest, but you can pick it up in Idleshire, and it will basically, for completing Dun Scaith, while that quest is active, you can pick up basically a token that you can turn in for an item level 270 accessory. Alright, so the mechanics of this guy are relatively simple. Just basically dodge stuff, kill stuff. Stay out of that AoE. And that one too. And definitely that one. Oh, we're putting out the DPS. That's a good thing. Alright, he does something here. Oh yeah. It's a stack up marker. So stack up. Which turns into a shockwave marker. So get to the outside, but obviously not in that nasty AoE there. Again, positioning should be fairly obvious if you've been playing the game up to this point. Get out in the middle for that. Now ads start showing up, so start killing them. Alright, now you need to kill the proto-bits. Alright, so when the ether collectors come out, they need to die, like, right the heck now. counting down to supernova. And you definitely don't want that to go off, because it's a life at this point. The first supernova will not kill you. This one will. Once all 3 ether collectors are down, start focusing on Proto-Ultima again. Oh yeah, we're gonna have it. Well, 30 seconds. Okay, so now for the moment of truth. Can we beat Queen Scaith? And can I sufficiently explain Queen Scaith while fighting Queen Scaith? Well, this is why we're all on this journey together, so here we go. This, in my opinion, is the hardest of the bosses in this, really in the entire 3.x 24-player series. Alright, so Queen Scaith, there's a lot to concern yourself with in this fight, and it's a fight where a few mistakes early on can really screw you over later on. So the first thing we're going to worry about, I'm going to explain it hopefully before the fight begins, is Shade Spin. When you cast Shade Spin, you'll see her kind of have two little scarves going off to 2 sides of her body. You don't want to be in the sides of her body with the scarves, because an AoE will resolve pretty much instantly. That's going to be in those 2 regions. Don't be there. Also, whenever she jumps to a new location, she's going to immediately follow it up with a point-blank AoE. So get away from where she lands, basically. Alright, okay, 30 arrows is not, it's just a bunch of AoEs to dodge. Don't worry, I'm not going to worry too much about that. Well, obviously we're going to dodge. Okay, Shade Spin is coming. So there's her scarves, so I'm going to be right here. This is safe. Well, no, this is safe. See how it goes? Where the scarves are, that's where her AoEs are going to go. So you're going to want to be somewhere other than that. She jumped, so I'm getting away from where she landed, lest I get hit by that. And that's mainly what you have to worry about early in the fight. Oh, when shadows gather on the floor, you can attack, but don't you dare move. Otherwise, you're going to see those hands that are plaguing all these other players, and they're going to hurt you. They're going to hurt you bad. Alright, when the shockwave comes out, an ad will show up. One of the tanks needs to pick up the ad and pull it away from Scaith. And then we need to focus it down as quickly as possible. And then resume the fight against Scaith herself. Oh, Shade Spin. Now she'll also do, I forget what it's called. Oh, wait. Oh, get away from that. If you're the one marked, you're going to want to keep running around the outside of the arena to keep yourself from getting hit by those spheres. And, okay, Shade Thrust. Don't be in front of her. You'll see that circle. That tells you where the back of the attack is. And when the hands show up, you want to look directly at the hand if you're tethered to it. If the hand hits you, you will die. If you are not tethered to the hand, you definitely want to kill them to help the players that are tethered. But yeah, if you are tethered to the hand, look directly at the hand. Otherwise, stand still. There we go. So far, so good. All right, we're now moving on to the add phase. The add phase in this fight is actually very easy. So kill all the adds as they come up. I'm not even concerned about hate table on this. See, he's got hate on me. I don't care. These guys are pretty much a pushover. This is actually an excellent time to resurrect your fallen party members. Alright, now, it is extremely important to press the attack at this point. The further down she gets on her health, the more intense her battle is going to get. She's going to start throwing in some nasty combos. Oh, by the way, this mechanic exists. This is a mechanic you've seen before in plenty of fights. Alright. There's the one that isn't covered! Crap, we're in trouble. Alright, so Shockwave means the ad's coming up. Need some healing, guys. And, oh, I'm still up. Now I'm not. Well, you've seen all the mechanics at this point. Now she's just going to start throwing in more and more complicated combinations of these mechanics, so you really need her to be dead right now. Come on, end this fight. End this fight. Yeah! Alright, I'm gonna return so I don't get res sickness. But I am so glad that we got through that. Now, the fourth fight is no pushover. We still could wipe in that fight. But, honestly, we could have been in real trouble in both the first fight and in the Queen Scaith fight, and we managed to pull both of them off. And I think I even managed to explain all of the mechanics that are relevant. Alright, so when you get done with this particular boss, you go on the elevator to the top. And you remember our old friend Diablos from Weeping City of Mach? And more early than that, Final Fantasy VIII, but that's another matter. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to summon. Well, he's back, and this is actually a far more interesting fight. Now, you'll note, Queen Scaith is still sitting there on the arena, looking very dead. This is not insignificant that she's still sitting over there. Now this fight is definitely in two distinct phases. And he uses much of the same attacks that he uses in his original version. Ultimate Terror, either you want to be really close to him or really far away from him. Alright, when he casts Death Gate, 2 gates will appear. These need to die, otherwise they'll summon ads. Nightmare, look away. Ruinous Omen is going to hit hard, but there's really no way to block it as there was in the Weeping City, or not Weeping City, the Lost City of Ambermore version. So you just have your healers heal through it, stack up for that mechanic. Ultimate Terror, get out of range. Now, eventually, and the reason I'm kind of saving my Dreadworm trance at this point is because eventually he's going to jump out of the arena and start trying to cast his ultimate, and life is going to get interesting. Here we go. Alright, he's going to summon the Life Gate. And we need to start attacking the Life Gate, basically, in order to transfer energy to it. This is a good old-fashioned anime-style Dragon Ball Z-esque beam war! And you power up your beam by siphoning energy into the Life Gate. Basically by depleting its health. Boom! Watch that beam war! He'll summon a couple of Death Gates. These do need to be whittled down, but I see my party seems to be doing a pretty good job of taking care of those. This fight's going really smooth. Keep on pushing the attack. Once you put in enough damage on the Life Gate, depleted its energy bar enough times, you win the beam war! Yay! We killed Diablos! Oh, why are our healers putting up shields? Why are people jumping around by the body of Queen Scaith? Gee, I wonder if this fight isn't actually over. Yeah, he absorbs the body of Queen Scaith, and in so doing, learns several of her moves. So I hope you were paying attention in the last fight, because a lot of those mechanics are about to happen again. This time with Diablos Hollow. Now, you'll notice that to begin, you're not going to be doing any damage, because you're going to have a fairly significant stone skill. So even though you're not doing any damage, continue to press the attack, because eventually you're going to break through and actually start doing damage. Shade Thrust. That was going right where I was standing, so I'm glad I moved. Again, just like with Queen Scaith, watch where the kind of circle is on her back, or his back, and don't be standing in the way, like our healer there did. Alright, we are finally doing damage. As you can see, his health bar is now depleted. Oh, crap, I'm marked. Okay, so both of us are going to start running around the outside of the arena, lest we get hit by those, unless we hit anybody else with those. Alright, good. Actually, I'm kind of glad when I get marked with that, because I at least know what to do with it. And I'm going to ensure that I don't run it into anybody and that nobody else runs theirs into me. Alright, so what needs to happen here is those two death gates need to die, and people need to go into the third death gate. You need to get this done before the arena basically completely collapses on your head. Alright, I think we got it. Otherwise, that ad will come out and start actually fighting the party during this fight. You don't want that. Now, there's a very unique stack-up marker. Oh, turn away. There's a very unique stack-up marker here you'll see every so often that is both a stack-up marker and a look-away marker. So you want to get stacked up but look away from the person who's actually marked. It's complicated. Hopefully I'll see it and not actually be dealing with another mechanic at the time. And I'm marked again. Let's go this way. Those orbs need to be popped, but not by the same person. Preferably by an off-tank. And definitely not by the person who's running away from the, I was too close. Definitely don't want to be in that one. And I just died. Oh, crap. Okay, so we don't have a healer up. I can't res anybody. We have a limit break, but it looks like this is going to be a wipe. Now, the good news is, you start right away on the second phase. You don't have to do the whole bit with the beam war again. Alright, well, let's see if it goes better this time. As you can see, this instance is still a challenge. Even with better gear, you still have to be very mindful of mechanics here. Back shade thrust, don't be in the line. Thrust, don't be in the line. Actually attack Nate. Come on. Alright, here we go. Shade thrust, don't be in the line. Okay. I thought for a moment there I walked right into it. Alright. Okay, we are now doing damage on him. Okay, I'm marked, so I'm running around the outside. Okay. Basically, I do that by sound. I just wait until I don't hear the attacks resolving anymore. Alright, I'm gonna run into here. Oh, right, I can't run into here. Alright, so far this is going a lot better. Okay, there is the stack up and look away marker. I'm not going to get there in time, so normally I try to run up and take care of that, but Hollow Nightmare, look away. Hollow Commissado, which you keep seeing, is a tank buster, so as a oh crap, I'm getting away from that. Get into the middle. Hope that the way. Really hoping that's not pointing at me. It's not. Oh, I shouldn't pop that. Did not have enough health to really be worrying about that. That's gonna kill me. Okay. Kind of wish I'd gotten a little healing on that. Oh boy, Hollow Woman. So, well, here's hoping what happens is the, okay, this is actually going to probably be to our advantage. Hollow Woman is going to resolve. Then our other healer is going to get back up, and okay, now he's going to cast Double Edge. Double Edge is a sign that you're in the home stretch. He's going to do more damage, but he's also going to start taking continuous damage over time. So now's when you really want to push the DPS, provided you're actually up and able to do so. Earthshaker, he marks 2 players and shoots a big line AoE toward each of them. Try to bait them away from the rest of the party, if at all possible. Hey healers, I'm a summoner, and I can actually res people. You might want to get me up. Well, looks like without my participation in the last third of the fight, we still managed to beat it. And you saw the mechanics. So yeah, this is still a challenging little run, and I'm just glad I'm through it. Probably won't be playing this one much with this character, but I'm glad I got through it, and that concludes the level 60 24-player dungeons. So now I've got 2 regular 4-person dungeons to go, and 1 more trial, and then we are done with Heavensward content, and then starting into Stormblood. So until then, have a wonderful day.